and we will get rolling. Okay, and it's telling me my battery is low. Well, if we end up not being live on our tribe, hopefully, Brittany, if you have the Zoom ID, log on to Zoom because I don't know how long my phone is going to last, FYI. All right, you guys. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over kind of some things. So many of you have signed up for the challenge. Probably most of you have, which I'm super excited about. So I did want to talk about that, especially cover any questions that you guys have about any of the particular weeks or just any questions in general, but we'll do that at the very end, if that's okay. I want to cover kind of the main things. I promised you some tips and tricks to navigate this time of year. And I know that this year is different than most, right? Most years we all have lots of other events. We have tons of family things. And I know it looks very different for most of us, but in some ways this year has offered a lot of unique challenges that we haven't had other years. And so it has made our approach to nutrition more important than ever, because for a lot of us, it's brought out some emotional issues. It's brought out some things that we, that really can be challenging. And so that's what I want to cover. You can take these principles, you can apply them not only to our season, our holiday season that we're in, but you can apply them to when things open up again and it's summertime and we can all get together again. So really think about how these apply to all aspects of life, right? So the first thing I want to chat about is how important it is for you to stick with your routine. I know kind of when we first locked down, like the hardest thing for everyone was really, there was no routine. We're working from home, we've got kids schooling at home, gyms are closed, gym classes are, times are different. So it's just super important that you stick to your routine, especially when it comes to this challenge. We're going to be creating new routines with hydration. We're going to be creating new routines with mobility and stretching and fitness. And so for you, finding a place to put that into your day every single day is going to be super important. I have a post coming out this week on Tuesday that's going to talk about habit stacking. And so that's a way that you can kind of pair an old habit with a new habit, and it really can make things stick easier. But reach out to me if you have any struggles with kind of creating habits, and I have lots of hacks when it comes to things like that. But stick with your routine, create that routine, stick with it. The other thing that can be helpful is using a meal prep service. A lot of times this time of year, like people are overwhelmed. Maybe they've got kids at home, they don't have time to prep the food, but we still want to make sure we have really good quality food. So I know a lot of clients have used Power Plate meals. That's something a lot of you really love and enjoy. Another one is Trifecta. I have clients who love Trifecta. There's one that Ryan and Christy have used, Midwest Meals. There's a lot out there, you guys. And in fact, this weekend, there's a ton of deals because of it being Black Friday and then Cyber Monday. That's not a bad idea, is to use a meal prep service. The other thing that's going to be huge is to keep your fitness in focus. For a lot of you, you have a fitness routine. You've become connected with me because of your gym. So you have a fitness routine. And I know it looks different. Maybe it's Zoom classes, maybe it's
yes, I can do games.
But the main thing is, I think I got it. The main thing is, again, keeping that fitness as a part of your routine. Even if it's 10 minutes, that's the bare minimum for our challenge. Just once you get going, it's not always easy to get going. Some of us, our equipment's in the garage, it's cold, we go out there, we're all bundled up, but 5 minutes in, you're feeling better. 10 minutes in, we're feeling really good. So basically really. Okay, so here's a good idea. And another reason why this challenge is so helpful is it sets some goals for us, but maybe you have a very specific goal of 3 workouts a week, right? If you want to do 3 maybe Zoom workouts with your gym, or you want to do 3 workouts with your neighborhood girlfriends, right? So set that goal, and you need to communicate it with someone. That's important, right? We all know that both writing down our goals and also sort of speaking them to the world is super helpful. So communicate that goal to someone. All right. I got to get out of my screen here to go to our next slides. So those are kind of the main things that I want you to think about through this season. No matter what happens when life gets crazy, whether it's quarantine or the holidays, find that routine. Maybe set yourself up for success with either a meal prep service or something coming in. We also have those great options at the grocery store with HelloFresh and Blue Apron and things like that, right? It's just a great way to give us delicious food that we semi-prepare, but that sets us up for success. Okay, so now let's talk about actually navigating sort of some of these events. Most of us are still working. Maybe we have company things or people are bringing in food. Even Greg mentioned that sometimes the challenging part about this time of year is members will bring them goodies. And how do you say no to that? You know what I mean? It's like there's so many good things this time of year. We want to enjoy those things. So how do we kind of manage portion control? That's what we're going to talk about now. So first and foremost, when you're at the event or when you're at maybe, let's say, a party, sit facing away from the food table, right? So get yourself away from the food table. Don't be standing there looking at it, drooling, thinking, oh, there's this or there's this. I mean, that's going to be really, really huge. So sit facing away, remove yourself from the chip bowl, the bread basket, the cracker plate, all those easy things to grab. Just walk away, right? Here's the other thing that I love too. If you're hosting, and maybe things again are really small right now, and so we have tons of leftovers because it's smaller groups and we're used to cooking for a huge group, portion everything out for everybody as you go, right? Portion it out and send it away so you're not left with all this food in your house. The other thing that I would say is, let me just double check that. I think we got it. There we go. Save the protein. Be a little bit selfish here, like save the lean protein. And if you want, portion out some mashed potatoes, some stuffing, whatever, like the sides and all the goodies, but make sure everything is sort of in controlled portions. The main thing is if you have these, this entire pie sitting in your fridge, or you have this, deliciousness, you're going to go in there, you're going to grab a bite. An hour later, you're going to grab 2 bites. 2 hours later, we're going to have another bite. And pretty soon we've had 2 or 3 servings. So send the leftovers away with family or friends, share them with coworkers. Again, not overwhelming them with all the food, but in these nice little portioned out containers. Aldi has great little meal prep containers that you can grab. Costco, Walmart, you can get them super, super easy. The other thing to think about is, I know people sometimes feel pressure to eat all the things because they feel like, well, they went to all this effort to prepare it, or it's grandma and I'm going to hurt her feelings, and I understand that, but we need to be thankful with our voice, right? Really express how much you love and appreciate all the hard work and the effort that went into preparing this. We don't have to eat it all, right? So be thankful with your voice, not your belly. Enjoy it, have a serving, have what you want, but don't eat it because you feel guilty, right? That's the main thing, is I just want people to understand it's more important that you thank people with your voice and your words than it is eating all the food. Okay, so let's talk about some other things that come up. Drinking more alcohol lightens social anxiety, so drink up and party on. I mean, it can ease the anxiety. I get that, right? But that being said, we want to go into the party with a plan. Make sure we have had plenty of sleep going into it. Make sure we're not like overly stressed going into the party. If we can do some deep breathing, or again, get in some movement, go for a walk outside. Enjoy a drink or two, but make it part of the plan. In between your drinks, have a big glass of water, right? Enjoy a big glass of water. Make sure you're staying really hydrated. The other thing that can be helpful is to have something fun that's non-alcoholic to enjoy in between as well. So I have clients who love like wine spritzers. They'll do like 1 or 2 ounces in a glass of sparkling water. Or they'll do, an ounce of mango juice in some sparkling water with ice. You could throw a strawberry in there. I mean, it can be something that's really delicious that doesn't account for much, but you feel like you're like everybody else enjoying something special, and yet you're not completely heading down that path of 4 or 5 drinks, in a night. If you're really stressed out about it, talk with a friend. Talk with somebody who you can just say like, "Hey, my goal is to have 2 here. If I'm feeling like the wheels are coming off the bus, like I'll give you a look, and maybe I need a little bit of help here." So just recruit a friend to help you just stay on track. And maybe the same is true with food too. Maybe it's the dessert table. If you see me headed back to the dessert table more than once, like I need you to come come hook me around, right? Okay, the other thing that can happen is we can feel overwhelmed by the amount of food there. Oftentimes, there's just such a variety of food and we're so excited, but the main thing is scope out your options first. Go take a look at everything there is to offer, right? Really think about, okay, like what are the main entrees? What do I want to enjoy? What are the sides? Like what are the sides that I really, really want to have? And then of course, desserts. We gotta make room for desserts, right? So something that I will rope Chad into doing is I will say, hey, I really want some of this, this, and this. Would you split it with me? Like we'll get a serving and then he'll have half and I'll have half. That way we get to enjoy a little bit of everything without feeling like we're completely overindulging in all the things. Here's the other thing to be mindful of. This time of year, there's a lot of special sort of seasonal things, whether it be things that our grandma makes or our aunt or somebody that we work with, or really maybe special, unique things that we don't get other times of the year. So enjoy those things. Don't waste calories or macros or any of those things on like the M&Ms or the pretzels or if those are your thing, then okay, like I'm not going to fault you, but I mean, who wouldn't love like a homemade kind of pie over something that we could get every day? So that's what I would say. Don't just dive into those everyday things, maybe the little bowl that you see sitting around, or the peanuts or the nuts, or let go of those things and save room for the things that you really want that are special, right? So that will help you leave the party feeling just so much better, less maybe bloated, less full, and just feeling in a really good headspace because you had a plan and you were in control. Okay, so the other thing, ultimately, it can be hard if other people are really overindulging in either food or alcohol. It can be hard not to do the same. I have a study that I reference in a healthy habits program that I do that talks about chimpanzees. And chimpanzees in one group may find a really effective way to open these nuts, right? And to eat these nuts. But if you take one chimpanzee and you move him to another family who hasn't learned that more effective way, instead of using the way that he knows is superior, he will default to the less effective method because he wants to be like his buddies. And humans are very much the same way. If who we're around, if everyone at the party is over drinking or overeating or just letting everything go, then we have a tendency to do the same. But in the end, that's not where we want to be, right? We came in with a plan, we need to leave with a plan. So the main thing to keep in mind is chew slowly. If you want to, like, put down your fork and spoon in between, and this is a kind of a good practice in general. Something that I have made a rule of thumb is I really try to not eat in front of a screen. I try to not eat in front of my computer. I try to not eat in front of my television, not on social media. Like I try to just eat and enjoy my food. It makes a difference. So if we are distracted with a screen, it doesn't allow our brains to receive the signal, not only of appreciation of when we're actually full, but it doesn't allow our brains to receive the signal that we're the pleasure signal, that we are happy and fulfilled and content with the food that we're eating. So oftentimes we overeat, or we overeat more of the palatable foods because our brain doesn't feel satisfied. So it's just something to really, really keep in mind. Yeah, again, connect with a friend if you want to help stay grounded there. The other thing that you can do is journal. Like journal about things that are kind of your roadblock and have a plan based on what you feel like the sticky situation might be going into the event, right? The main thing to really know is what might be my roadblock and how am I going to handle that? How am I going to deal with that roadblock? Excuse you. Okay, so portion control. So here's another thing. We can choose to eat off a smaller plate, right? If we grab a smaller plate rather than like the huge platter size plate, we know we're going to go back once or twice, but we're going to have smaller portions. So that's a good way to moderate. The other thing that we want to do is, again, eat slowly, because it takes 5 to 10 minutes for our bellies to really tell our brains that we're full. So if we are eating too fast, we're not actually going to realize when we're full, and we will overeat. We'll have a tendency to overeat. Here's another one that I love. I bring the salad or the veggies to every party. And I mean, that might be boring. I will bring like yummy, delicious stuff as well, yes. But I want to know that I have a really good option, something that's full of fiber and delicious veggies to really like fill me up, to add that crunch and that sort of extra like vibrancy and freshness to any meal. And people love it. I rarely come home with salad left over. People are thankful that I do it. So bring a huge leafy salad just in case nobody else does. And then you have something, again, really, really healthy to really fill up on. And then you can enjoy all those other little things as sort of the side dishes. Create a plan for what you want to, what you want to have on your plate. The main thing is look at your entrees, your main proteins, grab those first, throw on a couple extra sides. And then if you're like me, if I know the desserts that I want, I'm not letting those go by the wayside. So I will set my plate down, run through and grab, half a portion of the desserts that I want and then save those, because I don't want them to be gone by the time I get back, right? So make a plan, stick to the plan. Here's another thing that can be helpful. So set a timer on your phone. You've had, maybe you've had your full meal, you're sitting, you're chatting with friends, set a timer on your phone, 10 or 15 minutes, or just look at the clock, give it 10 or 15 minutes before you go back for round 2. A lot of times when we're hanging with family during this time of year, these are all day events, and we might find ourselves literally snacking all day long. So what can be more beneficial is to really just enjoy a meal, like have a meal, eat to satisfaction, and then stop. So just make a plan. Okay, there's all these things, everything's sitting out, everybody's just grazing and snacking and doing their thing. But no, I've had a meal, I'm full. I'm not going to go and just grab other little things and just watch the clock. Maybe give yourself 2-3 hours. And if then you want to have another little something, then go for it. But it's all that little constant snacking and grazing that can really, really add up. Okay. Chat it up. Here's another one. Sometimes it can be, some people are, I don't know.
Stay.
I'm not sure. Oh, she must have a puppy. Sometimes these situations can give people some anxiety. And so I've had clients say, I find myself eating just because I'm anxious. I find myself eating just because I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. And so I just like, if I have food in my mouth, then I don't have to feel bad that I'm not talking, right? And so maybe that's how you feel. So bring something healthy that you feel like you can snack on and that will sort of satisfy that nervousness for you. The other thing we can do is, again, we can recruit a buddy, recruit a family member, and just say, like, I'm nervous, I'm uncomfortable in this situation. Can you just hang with me? Or just really try to sit with someone that you haven't gotten to know and have a really good quality conversation with them. Just enjoy the conversation instead of feeling like the event has to be about the food. Right? Make it about the people. Try to learn something new about a couple people there that you didn't know, even if they're your family, right? Let's see. Oh, here's the other thing that can be helpful is to bring a dessert or a side that you might really, so Coach Megan, I don't know if Coach Megan's on here. She loves she has a Greek yogurt parfait like every night. That is her treat. So that could be a really healthy option to bring for dessert if you feel like, yeah, I want to have some of the other little things, but I also want to have something that I know I really love and enjoy, and then it's also going to make me feel really good. So bring a dessert that you know might be a great option like that. The other thing is, don't go to the party starving. So I definitely, I often eat before I go to friends invite me over for a barbecue. Like I like to eat food. I really do. And so I don't want to show up starving and not have there be great options there for me. And so I might have like a huge salad before I leave the house, or maybe I'll have a little bit of Greek yogurt so I know that I'm getting in plenty of protein. Or maybe I'll have, some chicken breast with some hummus. Just things that I'll do so that I'm set up for success. The same is true when you go to the grocery store, right? Like, I don't go to the grocery store hungry. That is a recipe for disaster. So same for a party. Make sure you've had a really good breakfast, eat plenty of protein. Same thing with lunch. The main thing you're going to find when you go to these events is nobody's going to have just lean protein laying around. Like, rarely are you going to have lean protein options. Sometimes we'll have some great cut up veggies or hummus or something yummy like that. But we know we're going to have all the carbohydrates, we're going to have all the fatty things. Okay, but you need to set your day up for success so that you've had plenty of protein and lots of veggies, right? Eat slowly and fully chew your food before taking another bite. Kind of the same principle of really being mindful, setting down that fork in between your bites. Really think about what you're enjoying. And so I've had this happen. You're at an event, you find the dessert, you find the thing, you're like, oh man, this looks so good. I put it on my plate, I go sit down and I start eating it, and I'm just like, this is not good. It's just not good. And so then I feel kind of bad and just like, I hope the person who made this isn't the person sitting next to me. But I don't eat it. You don't have to eat it. You know what I mean? Like, just let it go. Get up, find something else. So think about what you're doing. Don't just plow through the food on your plate and all of a sudden you look down and it's kind of like, oh, I didn't even realize I ate all that. Be mindful. Think about the flavors, think about the textures, think about the smell. Really stop and enjoy what you're eating. Okay. So again, look for the special things, skip the M&Ms, the popcorn, the pretzels, the things that you can have all the time. Dive into those special things and plan for those. Bringing lunch meat, fruit, those are other great things to bring, right? Again, making sure we always have lots of protein, good options. I love that. Drink a 0-calorie water. Zevia is another thing my clients love. You can make the homemade Izzy, like I said, with the sparkling water and a little bit of juice, a delicious non-alcoholic option. A lot of people like LaCroix or Spindrift. There's so many great options out there. So you can have something, again, it's something in our hands, something where we feel like we're being social and we're enjoying that, something to sip on, but it's not, save your calories for the delicious food, right? Instead of drinking those calories in our beverages. Okay, you guys, so that's primarily it. I want to know, so before we get into the challenge, what things have you guys encountered? It looks like the phone died, so we're not on Facebook anymore. I have our chat up. You can either raise your hand. I don't know if I can see all you. I have a couple pages here. So maybe if you know how, raise your little blue hand, which I think you just go to, participants and then you click raise hand, and I should be able to see you. Yeah, I do see you. So what questions or what things do you guys deal with around this time of year when you go to, maybe I've got a lot of nurses, right? And so people are so gracious and they're wanting to be kind and bring snacks into the ER, but so they're always There's always these things in the break room. And so that's something that's really challenging for them. They're operating on very little sleep. Oftentimes they don't have a ton of time to eat. And then the options that people bring in to say thank you for their amazing, hard work is oftentimes not great options. So it's something that they encounter a lot. So what things are you guys coming across that has been a struggle? And maybe we can talk about things that would help. So I'll give you time to kind of raise your hand if you want. Oh my word, you guys, we have 46 people in here. That's awesome. You could also throw it in the group chat if you wanted. Anything? Something that came up when we did this talk at Calypso. I'm trying to remember, we had a couple things come up. Maybe Emily remembers. One of the questions was, what was it? It was about kids finding things. I mean, obviously, and that was actually something that a couple people in their intake form are really looking forward to, healthy options for families and kids. I mean, that is a factor. We have to find, we don't want to be prepping like 3 meals. We have to find things that our kids like and that our kids are going to eat, but that are good, healthy options as well. So that can absolutely be something that we need to think about. I'm trying to remember what other things were brought up at Calypso. Nothing. Nobody has anything. Using food as a reward. Yes. That was it. It can be the tendency for us, to emotionally reward with food. You did so well, you got an A, let's go to Culver's, let's go have ice cream, or vice versa. Oh my word, you had such a hard day. It was such a, let's go get ice cream. In so many ways, we might find that we use food either as the Band-Aid for the sad thing or as the celebratory thing. So it's finding ways to be excited and find ways to kind of reward, especially kids or those that we love, without necessarily food, Time for family supper that my kids made. Thanks, Amy. Oh, very good. Had a hard time working at home and munching. I know, honestly, let's talk about that. So the main thing, I love I love the hydration challenge, because oftentimes we are hungrier because we're not hydrating appropriately. So it's half your body weight in ounces or 80 ounces of water, whichever one is less. I know that can be a little bit overwhelming for some of you, but I promise you it will be doable. Right? It will be doable. But I know what you mean. Basically, number one, the thing that we want to do is make sure we're getting protein at every meal. That's going to keep us satiated. And again, when we eat our meals, sit down, enjoy the meal, right? Whether it be maybe for breakfast, you have a couple eggs and half a bowl of oatmeal. Sit down, enjoy that. And then we go to work, we sit at our computer, and we have to kind of understand that I might feel munchy, but am I actually hungry? So that's where we have to decipher the difference between cravings or boredom versus hunger, right? So sometimes I have certain clients who it works really well for them they really do just want to munch on something. And so they'll munch on sugar snap peas, they'll munch on celery, they'll munch on green grapes. Like those things have been really effective for them. Also popcorn. Popcorn is something where they can eat one kernel at a time, and it takes a long time to eat. It doesn't account for a lot. So that can be a great option. But to be honest, I think the better plan is to dig into, am I just munching because I'm bored? And is that a habit I just have to get out of, right? Do I just have to understand that I'm not actually hungry? I just feel like I want to keep my mouth busy. I want to do something with my mouth. Let's chew on a piece of gum. You know what I mean? Let's drink some water. Let's maybe suck on some ice, something like that. But again, we want to dive into, are we actually hungry? Are we not getting enough macronutrients in our daily diet? Is that why we are maybe hungry? Or are we just bored? That's the main thing. What are your thoughts on Powerade and Gatorade Zero? So ultimately, I think those things have a place, right? If I have clients who just love them, it's just something that gives their water flavor, and they don't enjoy drinking regular water. Honestly, nothing trumps water. If we need Gatorade, if we need additional electrolytes, I have other sources that I personally prefer, but the bottom line is I have clients who used to drink I have a client who used to drink 7 Diet Cokes in a day, and he now drinks Gatorade Zero. That is a win, right? That is a win in comparison to what it used to be. So I'm not a fan of saying like, no, that's not a good choice. I'm a fan of saying, if that's a good choice for you, then that's a good choice for you. You know what I mean? If that is a better alternative than something else, or if that's something that you just lean into, then challenge yourself to have, one of those a day, or half of those a day, or one every other day, and then to enjoy something else. I love adding lemon or lime to water, even cucumber, essential oils you can add, can give it some flavor. So things like that. I know people don't always enjoy just plain water, right? What other questions do we have? I like to munch. Yes. Adult Lunchables. Yes. Then I don't crave it. I do love that, honestly. Yeah. Just putting together some things that you like, whether it be something that actually Linnea made this for lunch the other week. It looked so good. She just put lettuce, turkey. There was a cucumber on there. I can't remember what else was on there. And it was just the perfect little, and lots of crunch, a little bit of mustard on top. Yeah. I mean, you absolutely can make sort of these adult. I have a Tuesday tip. I call them like bento boxes, like adult Lunchables, basically. It's like a fun way for you to enjoy those things. You know what I mean? And there's lots of great cracker options out there. There's lots of like nut and seed crackers that can add some really healthy fats. Um, Pistachios are another thing, or sunflower seeds for people who really like to have something to keep kind of their mouth busy. Those can be options, especially sunflower seeds. If you can, like pop them in your mouth, chew the shell off, and then spit the shell out. So it's just something to kind of keep your mouth and everything busy. Yeah. Linnea says, I love my adult. Yeah. Oh, it was Linnea. Yes. I didn't realize it was Linnea who wrote that. I love it. Grain-free chips. Yeah, those siete chips or something like that. So yummy. And I agree. It's like we don't need to, I'm not a fan of saying, no, you shouldn't have those things, or eliminating things. Enjoy the things that you really like. Find a way to just lean into, maybe how can I make this just a slightly healthier option, or what can I have that's more inclusive, rather than feeling like I have to eliminate this thing. You know what I mean? I think that's really, really good. What other questions or things? The other thing that can be helpful this time of year is, you guys, portion things out. If you make cookies, I mean, everybody's baking and making all these things, or friends or neighbors are sharing these things, or even if it's just your regular snacks. When I bring home, so Chad loves tortilla chips. I'm trying to think of what. Sometimes I will snack. I did get some of those siete, like cinnamon churro things. I'll snack on dark chocolate. So I will portion them out into individual baggies so that I'm not tempted, number one, to grab more than really what a serving is. But it's easy. I just grab it, done. I know how much is in there. And then I'm not tempted to go back and open up the bag again and get some more. And pretty soon I'm opening up the bag again and I'm getting some more. The other thing that you can do is pour it into a bowl. If you don't want to portion it out, pour it into a bowl and just make a pact, like, this is it. I'm getting one serving. I'm not going back and getting more. You know what I mean? So kind of the same thing. Like, move away from the dessert table, shut the cupboard. We're done. We're good. You know what I mean? And here again, honestly, you guys, I love the way our challenge is structured, because I hope, just like my clients, I think you're going to see that by sort of meeting these parameters, you're going to find when you eat enough protein, when you eat enough veggies, the things you crave are not extraordinary. You may crave a little sweet here and there. You may crave a little salty here and there. That's normal. But people who feel like I am literally controlled by my cravings, that is a sign to me that they're not getting the right amount of macronutrients. Once we get them eating the right macronutrients, those cravings subside. They become very normal. So if you find that you're one of those people, you'll see really that they will stabilize for sure. Let's talk about the challenge. What questions do you guys have there? So we have something that I kept thinking about is what if we have like a 5-way tie and we only have 3 grand prizes? And so we have a bonus point. Each week we'll have a bonus point, kind of something fun and different. For the first week, our goal is to eat 5 servings of fruits or veggies at every meal. So the bonus point for the first week is going to be trying something different, trying a veggie or a fruit or eating something that is maybe a little bit out of the ordinary. I don't know. For me, I'm gonna have to figure out what that is because I really like everything. So I'm gonna have to find something really obscure. Kind of the things that Sasha brought. Sasha brought these really unique fruits. I can't remember what they were called, but they looked like little sea urchins. That was something I'd never tried before. But it's just something fun, right? To just go outside your comfort zone and try something new, and just a fun way to kind of separate the pact. The other one that I have gotten a lot of questions about is the social media, our week 3. So an hour of no screen time before bed, or 1 full day off social media. For some of you, that might be absolutely no big deal. But for others, that might be a little bit of a challenge. So again, part of our whole health is unplugging a little bit and just reconnecting with our friends and family and ourselves, right? And sometimes we're just so distracted when it comes to social media or when it comes to the television. We just could use a little bit of time to unplug. So I thought that would be a really fun one to help people get sort of the whole thing. Yeah, do you guys have any other questions? I'm trying to think of other questions that I've gotten through email about the challenge, or other questions that you have about food, the holidays or quarantine, or, routine is huge. Maybe Linnea's typing. What else is Coach Kim had her little talk last Sunday highlighted so many really, really good things. We have, if you noticed, some of you have downloaded our seasonal survival guide. There's lots of tips and tricks in there. A lot of them we covered today, but some we didn't. You guys will be getting a ton of recipes. So those are something that people are constantly telling me they want and really want is good ideas. I know for Liz, that's something that she is always looking for, something simple and easy, but that's delicious. Talk about dried, pickled fruits, veggies, if they count. Oh, sure. Yeah, so that's a good question. Something that I picked up today was some dehydrated mango. That's just kind of a fun little tart treat that I'll have here and there. So the main thing to keep in mind with dried fruits and even pickled things is have a serving, right? So here again, dried fruit is super concentrated in sugar because everything's been dehydrated and concentrated down. So I don't eat a ton of dried fruit if I'm hiking, if I'm, in a fitness competition or something like that. I will lean into dried fruit. It's not something that I will have a lot. Some people love the mango, with no sugar mango, and that can be a super delicious snack here and there. But absolutely, dried fruit counts, but just be mindful of, we don't need a lot of it to count for a lot. So portion it out. Maybe you have some cranberries on your oatmeal in the morning. When we think about pickled fruits, I love me some pickled beets. Like, that's delicious. Asparagus, things like that, olives, those could be great options. How do we get the Google Sheet to report our points? You guys will receive that in an email. So Kim, challenge closes tonight at 8:30.
Registration.
Good question. I love it. Yeah, everything closes tonight at 8:30, and we still have registrations coming in. So once the challenge closes, we will forward those emails on to Kim, and she will send out a Google form that will automatically be emailed every single day. So, and it'll timestamp your days to make sure you're reporting, and we'll keep you guys posted. If you haven't received a friend request from me already, you will see, if you're on Facebook, you will see a friend request, because I want to add you to our tribe, right? So that's our group on Facebook where we can all chat about what's going on with the challenge. You'll receive a daily tip focusing on the different things that we have going on. And you'll also receive that in your email. So if you're not on Facebook, don't stress, you'll get that in your email as well. Does the sleep for tonight count? You know, that's a good question. Yeah, tonight is your first night. Tonight's your first night. So yes, it's a good thing we're doing this early. Can you think of anything else, Kim, that people have had questions about?
I was just going to mention that when we do the social media or the hour screen time one, that's going to be you'll be answering the next day for the screen time. So they just got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I love it.
Other than that, I can't think of anything. The form will go out every day, 1 response per day. Your point for submitting on the same day will be auto-calculated. So you won't be entering a yes or no there. What else, Amy? The bonus question is every day.
Question. Yep, it'll be in there. Yeah. So keep an eye out for that. And if you have to answer it, it won't let you submit the form without answering the question. So that's super simple there.
Yep. Yeah, and the forms are set to close. So this week's forms, all those forms close next Sunday at 10 p.m. And you can't submit answers for this week after that point. So, and if you end up making a mistake on your form or something happened, you can't go in and edit your form. So you'd have to get a hold of Amy, myself, or Megan to go in and actually edit those responses for you.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Or change the points or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So yeah, we did a lot of testing. So hopefully everything goes good, but if there's any problems, just bear with us.
So we had a question, and this is something that I thought about too. Calypso is crushing number of registrations. they are in it to win it. So obviously we can't, it's going to be a percentage, just like, so gyms will be, winning gym will win based on percentage, not necessarily like if one gym has 40 participants and one gym has 20 participants, it sort of skews it. So it'll be percentage of overall participants from that gym. But for our top 3 individual winners, I mean, literally those could be, they could be all from the same gym. They could be all from the same family, right? It's the honor system. So everybody like that, everybody's sort of out themselves, but also pulling for their gym. So the better that we do as individuals, the better our gym will do, right? But we'll be in the running for that prize individually. And then that's how the gym prizes will work, right? Each day for the bonus question. Yeah, so your bonus question will count towards your total overall points. We just were thinking, boy, we could have a lot of ties. So we wanted to find a way to kind of even the pack out. What if you don't have a gym? Yes. So we have a Summit Health Tribe as well. We've had lots of amazing people join that are not members of any of the 4 gyms. And so they are just going to be part of our Summit Health Tribe. So they will be in the running for those prizes as well, for sure.
Yeah, you'll be forced to pick your gym or your affiliation. And if you don't have an affiliation, we have the Summit Tribe as an option to select too.
Yeah. And then we had the question, do naps count towards our sleep goal? Yes. Again, I know that we have lots of seasonal workers. We have lots of nurses. We have lots of people with sort of overnight factory jobs. And so, yes, it's all cumulative, but it just basically within that 24-hour period, if you can get in those 7 hours, including a nap, 100% it counts. And again, we're trying to be realistic based on what your body really needs. It's ideal to have all your sleep be from 10 to 6. Like that is honestly ideal. Our bodies were designed to have that natural circadian rhythm. Sometimes that's not an option. Sometimes our work schedule just does not allow that. So if we can accumulate 7 hours anytime during that 24-hour period, it counts. It absolutely counts. Yeah. I think that's it, you guys. Any other questions? Feel free. Like ultimately, I thank you so much for filling out those forms because that's what will drive the content that I create for you guys throughout this month. Me understanding what constitutes this challenge to be a success for you, what really you're looking for is going to be huge. Because I might have an agenda, I might think based on my clientele who needs what, but what I really care about is what you need to feel like you are prepared, you're ready to create these healthy habits and to really sustain them. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I will let you guys go. I mean, if nobody else has any more questions, I really appreciate you being on. It was really good to see you guys' beautiful faces. I really appreciate it. I will record this. It will download to our YouTube, and then I can send it out to anybody who wants the recording, but it'll be live on our Summit Health YouTube. So thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Amie.
Thank you. Enjoy your night.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amie.
Oh, good. I hope Brittany got on. Let's see. How's it going, Christy? Is Ryan still dizzy?
Oh, he's sleeping.
See?
Here. There he is.
Oh,
Sleeping.
hi, Ryan. Oh, man. That's tough.
He
Well,
took some stuff. So
did he? Like some Dramamine?
I think he took that and then he did a noon tablet
Okay. Yeah, Dramamine will do it.
and some magnesium.
Good. Good. Okay.
Good thing we have all those things. It's almost like we had a nutrition coach or something.
Something like that. Good. Yeah, I have my juicer set out and ready to go. You'll just have to get celery tomorrow.
All right. We can handle that.
You can do it. You can do it.
Yes.
All right. Well, have a
All
good
right.
night.
Thanks, you too. See ya.
Amy,
What's up, Mark? How you doing?
great. I just wanted to make sure I signed up right.
You did.
I
I
did
saw
that.
your intake.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw your intake come in earlier. Let me just double. I just saw your name pop up. I'm like, Mark's in. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm always down for a good competition.
I love it.
Yeah.
You're a scrapper. Let's see. How are you? Are you loving married life?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You guys, your day looked beautiful. It looked absolutely beautiful.
It turned out really well.
Awesome. Let me just triple check that I have everything I need from you. Yes. Yeah. You're there. And did you pay?
No.
Okay, so you can click right below the intake form, hit join now,
Okay.
and that's how you can pay.
Okay. That was,
Yeah,
I was wondering.
it's right underneath where, I'm trying to think of what the page looks like. It's right on the exact same page, but if you click on the button that says join now, it'll take you to a cart. See if you see it.
Let's see. Scrolling down. On now. Oh, yeah. There it is.
Yeah, there you go. So I have your shirt size. Everything else is in there. That's it.
Awesome.
You're good. Thank you.
Right.
Have a wonderful night.
You too. Thanks.